Welcome to the Investor Fuel Real Estate Investing Show, where I interview the nation's top real estate entrepreneurs, industry leaders, and other amazing entrepreneurs to help educate and inspire you to take your business and your life to the next level. My goal is to add tremendous value to you during every single episode of this show. If you get value, I'd love it if you subscribe on your favorite podcast player, subscribe on YouTube, and my very favorite, please share this with your community so we can impact even more entrepreneurs. Let's start today's show. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Today, I'm here with the one and only Mr. Tom Krol. We're going to be talking about how to be authentic as an entrepreneur, kind of in the era of AI and the 9 rules of marketing, which kind of fit hand in hand together. So, Tom, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Bam!
There we
How
go.
are you, man?
There we
It's
go.
good to see you.
Yeah, awesome. Always good to see you, buddy. So, this is an interesting topic. We've, there's a lot of AI stuff going on. It's amazing. And if you're like me, probably a lot of entrepreneurs are getting hammered with ads right now for AI to make your life easier. And a lot of it's stuff like faceless ads and create faceless YouTube channels. It's like taking the entrepreneur and trying to get them to hide behind somebody other than themselves, right? And
Yeah.
I have a feeling, it works for scale, and it works for people that are a extreme introvert and just don't want to be the face of their thing. But I think for you and I, like, we're the face of our thing. Like, we value real relationships and friendships.
Right.
And I think in the era of AI, that's what's going to separate those that are successful from those that might not be, because they're just able to. I think people more than ever want to work with real people instead of
Absolutely.
some bots, right?
Yeah, I think that's more true now than ever. And the guys who double down on the basics are we're not gonna have the most success. We're already seeing it. The guys who double down on authenticity have the most success. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think AI is a great, like, I'm finding, some people are like, how do I slash my whole team? Like, how do I eliminate everybody with AI? And I'll tell you at this point, my team is, I had 3 new people that started yesterday. Like, we're growing like crazy, but if my team doubles this year, I feel like we're going to do 3 or 4 times more in productivity because of AI. So I'm not really using it as a way to slash. I'm using it as a way to scale in ways that we never could before, and using more people than we ever had before, really, honestly.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that AI right now is overhyped today. I think, 5 years from now, who knows what AI is going to be able to do, but it's definitely overhyped, and it's interesting, right? Because AI right now is a luxury. And what I mean by that is it's the distraction. It's a very, very shiny object that a lot of people are spending hours and hours and hours on and not getting any results. Can it do really cool things? And yes, but even in the sense of being a project manager or a partner or somebody to review, I'm finding that with my clients, if I ask for some of their AI output, it sounds exactly like them. So I know that AI is just feeding their ego, and they're loving it. But we're not focusing on revenue needle moving activities, and that needs to be in first position.
Yep. So I know we're going to sprinkle together the kind of 9 rules of marketing and kind of how to be authentic as an entrepreneur as well. Before we jump into that, Tom, if it's possible that somebody's watching this right now and doesn't know who you are, maybe speak to that person and tell them a little bit about who Mr.
They
Tom
don't know
Krol is.
Tom Krol. Thank you, brother. Well, first of all, I'm honored to be on this show. Bro, you're a rock star. So this is an honor to be even asked to speak. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And my story is the same as every other person who you've ever had on who's had any success, which is I was broke and poor and struggling, and now I found real estate, and then I took an attitude of progress, not perfection, and massive imperfect action, and I had a mentor. I did everything he told me to do, who was my older brother, Todd Tobag. Thank goodness I had him. And I just did my first deal with made every mistake in the book. And I think the takeaway from, the same story that I have as almost every single other investor who's ever, been on your show, I'm sure, is that, rock bottom, for a lot of us can be the strongest foundation to build on, because you've got nothing to lose. But you got to get your act together, because there is a trap door at rock bottom. And a lot of people don't, they don't talk about that, but you could just keep going down. So, I started real estate investing. Then I started coaching it, and built that company up. And I eventually sold my real estate investing company. Then I eventually sold my coaching company to Brent Daniels, who's such a great guy, and he's still crushing it out there today. And yeah, now I work with real estate coaches and I do my real estate investments. Um, I'm a big believer is as you get older, right? Fewer, bigger deals. Bigger, fewer deals. That's kind of what, when I first started, I was the same as everybody. Like, oh, I want like 100 doors and I want to live on the beach with passive income from rentals. It's fun. It's funny now because,
Yeah.
right. By the way, if you're listening to this and you think that rental properties provide passive income, let me know the addresses of those properties so that I can buy them for 60 cents on the dollar in about 3 years. So, but yeah, it's that was kind of my track is I just started my first deal. I made $2,000 and then it was off to the races. And I love it. It's been a great adventure.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's jump into these 9 rules of marketing. Let's kick it off.
Yeah. So what we did is through coaching all of these real estate investors, over 5,000 of them for now a decade and over a decade, we just found there is a clear line. And, like you and I were talking about, Mike, right? This is going to become so important, these basic rules based on authenticity, as all of these, act as if people and fake it till you make it people are out there. Authenticity is going to rule the day. It's absolutely going to be the people who are following the basic rules. So what we saw was we said, okay, if we take the top 250 people that we've ever worked with who've gone out there and they've just crushed it and they've made millions and they've done well, what are these guys and girls doing that the other guys and girls aren't doing? And I'll tell you something interesting about the 9 rules, right? Is that what is really interesting about the 9 rules is that the inverse is also true. So very often with the business rules, sometimes something can sound good and you're like, oh, this is a good rule. Like, the grass isn't always greener on the other side or whatever. But then you're like, well, hold on, wait a second. Actually, right? Sometimes the grass is absolutely greener on the other side, right?
Right.
So what's good about rules is that they're always true, right? They are. If you see someone who's struggling, I guarantee you they're breaking 3 or more of these rules 100% of the time. And that's where the rules come from, is not just what the successful guys are doing, but we saw that the guys who are struggling, they were doing the inverse and getting the exact opposite result. So
Yep.
easy peasy. You ready? We'll jump into them.
Rule number 1. Let's do it.
Rule number 1 is copied. And these are in order of importance. Copied is the number 1 thing that we see. You have a new entrepreneur and they're all excited and they're like a kid with a new pet. And what do? They take the Mike Hambright postcard or the Mike Hambright sales script or DM and they change it and they say, well, I did exactly what you said to do, except for I just changed this one little thing at the end. The number 1 thing that we've seen from rock stars is you tell them what to do and they photocopy what you do and they implement it. That is the number 1, 2, and 3 rule, right? That's like the top differential is when your mentor gives you a postcard or a sales script or a Facebook post to make or whatever it is, copy it and don't change it. And that is just the knowledge that there's 6,000 years of recorded history and all of the best marketing people have already written all the best marketing and it's not your job to recreate marketing for your little niche. So copy.
I've coached a lot of people too. And it's, that happens all the time. There's people that are like, they're overly creative, right? They're like, well, I heard what you said. And then they had to put, they can't not put their stamp on their little twist on it. And it's
right.
like, dude, just do it like this. Like, this works. So stop trying to start over. Stop trying to redo it.
Don't reinvent the wheel and submit. And a lot of entrepreneurs, they have a problem with authority. So they don't like to submit to, Mike Hambright. They don't want to go under his mantle. But the bottom line is, Mike Hambright is phenomenally successful. If I'm allowed to say that. I don't know if people realize how successful you are. If he tells you to do something, just do it. Don't change it. Don't use your entrepreneurial creativity to recreate marketing that's already proven.
Yeah, that's great. And for those of you out there, if you weren't doing what I'm saying before, you just got authorization from Tom. Just do what I say. Just do what I say.
Do what I say. That's it.
All right. Number 2. Let's talk about number 2.
Number 2 is you got to go big or you got to go home. This is so important. This will change. There's somebody listening. It's going to change their life. Marketing is not a game of skill first. It is a game of numbers. Most people who are selling their home do not want to sell you their home. And most people who do want to sell a home do not want your lowball price. This is a numbers game first. All marketing is a numbers game. So if you have a lot of money, go big on with your money. If you don't have a lot of money, go big with sweat equity and hard work and grit.
Yep.
But either way, it is a numbers game first and foremost. And the problem is, again, if you look at the people who struggle and you say, well, how do we know, what are they doing wrong? What do you see that they do all the time? Somebody who's making under $100,000 a month, right? What are they doing? Okay, here's what they do. Well, they did a little bit of marketing and then they got a result. This is the worst feedback because now in their mind, this is a statistical anomaly, it's called, right?
Yeah.
So now they think, oh, well, if I sent 100 postcards and I got one deal, if I send 200 postcards, I'm going to get 2 deals. No, you're not. No, you are not. But if you send 10,000 postcards and you get 4 deals, you can send another 10,000 and get another 4 deals. So you must go big with marketing 100%.
Yep. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, that's the key.
What's
okay.
Next?
Number 3, consistent. You got to be consistent. Snow, rain, hail, sleet, Christmas, Kwanzaa, 4th of July, Hanukkah, Memorial Day, every single day, whatever your thing is, whatever your marketing is, it's like telling a story. And what people don't realize is sometimes in the old days, you used to call this like your clients or your prospects, the people selling houses, they need a certain number of touches. What we now know is that's not really true. They need a certain number of indoctrination hours. So the more they see of you, the more consistently they see you. And we normally say that's going to be somewhere between 2 to 7 hours to get a lead. The more that they see that and they can engage with you and they be indoctrinated into the way you do things, right? Like speed and convenience in exchange for price for an investor standpoint.
Yeah.
The more consistent that is, the better results you're going to get. When you see somebody who's struggling and you're like, well, why are they struggling? And they have this roller coaster of income. Just look at the output of their marketing. It's exactly the same formula. It's inconsistent. So got to be consistent no matter what.
I think especially with in the real estate space, the investing space, buying at a discount, you've got to be there when they're ready, right? I just thought of this analogy. We have a trip coming up. We have an investor field trip coming up. This will be the 3rd time we've done this. You should come with us, Tom. Bring your family.
We're
going to Yellowstone. We go snowmobiling and dog sledding,
awesome.
all this stuff in Yellowstone. It's amazing in the winter. It's really cool. So everybody's heard of Old Faithful. It's like a geyser that goes off. I don't remember what it's like. It's around every 90 minutes. Like they know when it is. But if you, I just came up with this analogy. I'm the king of analogies too, by the way.
I love it.
For the people that are like, well, I'm going to drive by every once in a while and see if it's going off. Like you're always going to miss it. You're never going to be there at the right time.
Right.
But if you said, I'm going to stand here, like every minute I'm going to check in until it happens, then it's going to happen. Because a lot of people that we buy houses from, they've been distressed for years, if not decades. It just took something happening and you don't know what it's going to be. It could be the cable went out. It could be they got another medical bill. It could be something.
The grandfather
they've needed to call you for 10 years, but today is the day. And if you don't answer, guess who they're going to start going down the list and calling the next person, the next person, the next person. But you've got to be there when the geyser goes off, proverbially.
Brother, consistency solves every problem. And again, if you look at the people who make it and the ones who don't, you just look at their consistency. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yep.
Cool. What's number 4?
Number 4 is singular. You see this with all of the great. So the best way to say singular, the best way to see it in real life is talk to somebody who's struggling in real estate and say, how are you going to find your motivated sellers in this case? And they'll say, oh, I know exactly. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, every social media clubhouse. And then I'm going to be on billboards and bandit signs and TV ads and radio ads and direct mail and PPC and PPL, blah, 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 blah. If you talk to somebody who makes $100,000 a month, you get the same answer every single time. I picked this one channel. I totally dominated it. I know the right time of day, the color of the ad, the font, what it should say, what it shouldn't say, what time to send it out, how to respond to it. I totally dominate it, singular, like the one thing from Gary Keller, the charging one thing from Scott Alexander. All of this 6,000 years of recorded history tells us one thing. The newbies, they go out, half of them I want to be everywhere. And the ones who make $1 million, they go out and they dominate one channel, they delegate it, and then they move on to the next channel. So if you're going to start in this game or you want to dominate real estate, Pick one channel. What channel is the best? The one that you think is the best. Pick that channel, do TV ads, and totally dominate TV ads. You should know every single thing, how to negotiate the best price, what the ad should say, all of it. That's the way you dominate.
Yeah, that's great.
Easy.
Awesome. Yep. What
Number
about number 5?
Number 5 is easy. You already alluded to it. Fast response. This is, brother, I don't know. You see this from agents all the time. You see a property for sale. You might want to buy it. You call, you get voicemail. The leads that you lose are the ones you don't respond to. The hot leads are the ones that needed to be responded to fast. So just secret shop your company. Lob a call in, see how long it takes to get a phone call back. If it's more than 2 minutes, something's broken in your system and you're going to miss very hot leads for sure, especially after hours.
It's funny that you say that. Last week, this is super random, but this is out at the ranch. I'm basically, I'm off on a tangent a little bit here.
No, go.
We have a well that feeds our house. It's normally great, but lately it's been a little bit, there's like some brown water coming out. It's a little weird. I'm like, okay, maybe I need a whole house filter.
Right.
Somebody mentioned that. I'm gonna get a whole house filter. I'm like, I'm gonna get it. I don't even know how much it costs, but I have to get it. So I call 2 places. I actually sent in online on their website, did a Google search, sent it out to 2 people.
Right.
One of them I got an immediate response from, like immediate. It was like within a minute.
Yeah.
We scheduled it. Within 5 minutes, I was scheduled, and they're coming out this Friday when I'm out there again. The second one, I've never heard back from. I just realized that while we were talking here, I've literally never heard back from the second one.
Yes.
That was last Friday.
Brother, I'm telling you, people, especially once you sell houses motivated, they don't want the best deal. They want the most convenient one. So
they want their problem solved now.
They want their problem solved. So fast response. And you see this 100% of the time with the people who fail and the people who succeed. People who fail, Mike, hold on one second. Okay, I got to leave. And that's what they do. The people who don't, they're like, oh, it could go ahead. What were you saying? So
well, here's the truth. I'm pretty sure that the one that never responded to me was a paid ad. Like I just did a Google search and I clicked on an ad, and so even more, it's like people are paying for that and they're not tending to their leads. So it's crazy.
I love it. Yeah. Number 6, trackable. It's got to be trackable. All great men and women of consequence are focused on marketing, which is dollar in, dollar out. All the people who struggle and they're like pointed in, or they're amateurs, or they always say things like, well, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I don't even know what that means, but if all those people who say like they're pointed in instead of out towards the marketplace and serving others and being useful to others and reducing other people's suffering and all of that, the people who are pointed in are 100% of the time we'll use the word branding. And the people who are like, wait a second, I'm a business person, I need to be pointed out. I reduce my suffering by first reducing the suffering of other people. Those people are focused on marketing. Marketing means dollar in, dollar out. Dan Kennedy teaches us this. So does Ryan Dice and Pat Flynn and Amy Porterfield and I don't care who the marketing person is. Marketing is not branding. Branding is a result of good marketing.
Right.
Dan Kennedy tells you this. If it's not trackable, it's branding. Don't do it. So if you can't say, if I put in this much time or money and I get this much back, then it's not trackable. You're wasting your time. You're pointed in. You're doing what feels good. And really what you're doing is you're seeking comfort and you're getting vulnerable instead of seeking discomfort and getting stronger and wealthier and more successful. So track it, trackable, or don't do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What's number 7, Tom?
Delegated. You can't, guys, I'm going to tell you, anyone who's listening to this right now, I would not hire any one single one of you to do my marketing because you're all entrepreneurs, which means you are literally wired not to do this consistently and regularly, the boring, mundane stuff. So delegate this. My first hire was Lorena. She still works with Brent Daniels now at Wholesaling Inc. She's probably the wealthiest person, in her town. And I love her. She's awesome. Her and her daughter, Max, and her husband, they're awesome. We flew them down to Orlando. You can hire an awesome virtual assistant. And here's the secret. They're going to make mistakes. That's okay. Like, let them make mistakes. I'd rather have them make mistakes and get it 40%. For people would say 80%. Get it 40% right. Just do it consistently so I don't have to do it. And it's way better than you doing it 40% of the time. So all the best marketing is delegated. And of course, we see this with the newbies. They market, they get a deal, then they get distracted with the deal, the marketing falls away, and now they have to restart marketing, and then they eventually go out of business and they, get a job at Verizon selling phones, right? Because they can't do it because they're not delegating.
Yeah. As you know, I own a lead gen company, Investor Machine. And this is, so I'm always, anything I do now, if I can outsource it to somebody else, I do it, right?
Yeah.
the problem is that a lot of real estate investors, they they were conditioned early on one way or another. They're looking for cheap houses, they're looking for cheap materials, cheap labor. Everything is like cheap. They're trying to do everything cheap. And honestly, I was that way for a long time too, but you get to a point where you realize, look, the only way for me to grow is to like not there's no way I can be as good of a lead generation for myself as an agency that does it for 200 clients.
Right.
Like that they can learn, their learning curve is so much faster in everything they do. No different than I don't want to become a electrical contractor because I need some electrical work in my houses every once in a while. Like I've got to outsource that to an expert. But I think
Yep.
because there are some hustle tactics that a lot of new real estate investors can start, that they get caught up in that, like, this is just part of the business. I have to do this. And the truth is inbound leads are 2 to 300% more profitable than outbound leads, all those hustle tactics anyway.
Right.
And you can't scale the hustle tactics. I mean, I think a lot of people have proven that. They might hire call centers with dozens of callers and all that. But at the end of the day, I don't know many people that were doing that are still doing that. They ultimately hit a wall.
Brother, it's it's inappropriate for you to do it. It's wrong. It's morally wrong. There's a great
Right.
book by Daniel Lapin. It's called Business Secrets from the Bible, and he talks about specialization, and it goes a little bit deeper than Gary Keller's The One Thing, but you don't see wealthy people stealing from other people by doing other people's jobs. You just don't see them doing it. Wealthy
Right.
people, Julie knows, if there's something that needs fixing around the house, like we're hiring somebody,
You're not the guy.
he's not going to be as, he has to be less good looking than me. So I'm not getting some six pack in overalls to be
Yeah.
changing a light bulb and here, right? But there is, but all kidding aside, it's like, you got to focus on specialization, right? You've got to
Yeah.
focus on what you do, because that's how you bring the world value and that's how you're compensated. So when you go and you're in the, driveway fixing, changing your own oil to try to save money on an oil change,
Right.
you're making a rookie mistake,
I've
unless
said it
you,
to many people. I'm like,
yeah,
would somebody else hire you to do that for their company? And if
right.
not, like, why did you hire you?
I love it.
Right.
Brother, easy peasy. All right.
Yeah.
8 and 9 are super easy. And we see this all the time again between the people who make it and the people don't. Number 8 is double checked. So put a little tiny checklist, in place. You don't have to get fancy with Gino Wickman and Traction and, or EOS and Steve Harnish, all these guys and the E-Myth and Gerber, and it's a lot of work, right? Instead, just get a little tiny piece of paper, a little book called Checklists, and mine's right over here. Get a little book called Checklists and just make a checklist. There's a great book that Brian Tracy recommends called Checklist Manifesto. Just create a checklist. And if my 17-year-old daughter or my 11-year-old daughter, Lily, can't read it and understand it and do it, it's too complicated. So create a checklist for your marketing. Every Wednesday at 2:00, a little bell goes off on your calendar. Make sure all the phone numbers are working. All the websites are working, that the calendar page and the and the phone number, whatever, just make sure it's working. It takes one VA 2 minutes to check. I cannot tell you how many people you and I know who are like, I put $50,000 extra into paid ads and then we find out the website link isn't working on the
Right.
whatever. Double check it once a week. It's easy. And the last rule of marketing is, all good marketing is A/B split tested. That's it. Number 9, A/B split test your marketing. It's so simple. It's so ridiculous. It just means that, and when you split test, A/B split test, what it means is you have one thing running and you change just one thing about the second thing running and you compare the results. That's all it means. So you
Mm.
change the color, the font, the time of day, whatever, but you just change one thing and then you say, okay, A is slightly better than B, so we're going to go with A. And then you split test again. That's it.
Yep.
That will keep, that's like it creates your business into like a breathing exercise where, you're getting the things, you don't actually want money. You actually want the things that you think money can bring you. And if you treat a business that way, where you're not sacrificing the things you want from money to get more money, you'll have more time. It's a breathing exercise. You're just like, and that's the way it works. And to the people who are, you see it and I see it, the people who are doing the best, anybody over 100K per month, they're relaxed. Like, they're not pulling their hair out and, all these signs, hustle harder, stay hungry. What? Oh, stay hungry. What are you talking about? No, I don't want to stay hungry. I mean, I'll be disciplined and have good habits, but I'm not going to, like, I hustled so I don't have to hustle. I didn't
Right.
hustle so I could keep hustling. There's seasons to life. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, see,
This
hustle's a
is a
season.
little bit of the season of hustle for a lot of people, and that's one of the things that I talk a lot about is kind of building a wide. I always use the phrase building a wider moat, right? So
Yeah,
there's a lot of people back to, we talked about this a little bit ago. Some people have, let's just say if you go back 3 years ago, 4 years ago, some people had a business that was okay, like they were doing well, but not well enough to weather the storm that we've had over the past few years.
right.
And so their moat wasn't wide enough, right? They
Yes,
couldn't protect themselves from the outside. And I think the key is to build a business that allows you to make more money than what you need, so that if things get difficult, you have some cushion, right? You've got some room for error there. And the problem, the opportunity there is if you also have that wider moat and you have some room for error, then you have the ability to try other things to scale without disrupting your normal
yes,
life, right? Like basically if you were a salaried person and you cover all your, just to say as an entrepreneur, once your bills are covered and that's safe, then it allows you to take more risk and try more things. I mean, a lot of
right.
successful entrepreneurs have kind of protected their home, if you will. They've got the bills covered. That's not at risk. And they're kind of playing with the house's money now to test things, right? If you're just barely getting by, then you tend to like buckle down and be afraid of everything because your moat is
Yes.
not wide at all. Somebody could just step over it.
And a lot of it is just basic, like silly things like living off of less than you earn and
Right.
increasing your net worth and putting money into the S&P 500 because I love these landlords who are like, I've got a 6% cap rate, and you're like, what does cap rate mean? And they're like, cap rate means the differential between the what. So it's, the reality is that, like, go for simple. Go for easy. Read The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Like, the only people who are free are the people who have enough. Like, everybody, if you ask everybody who is very wealthy right now, who is still in hustle mode, and you say like, well, what is your goal? What's your net worth goal? It's almost always exactly twice as much as they have right now. You will see this. I'm telling you, you could do this experiment. Say, what's your net worth? And say, oh, 10 million. They'll say, well, what's your goal? And be like, 20 million. And then I'm done. It's like,
Yeah.
no matter what the number is, it's just twice as much. And it's
Yeah.
just funny. Like, if you just follow simple rules and you strive to be the best instead of the biggest, and you live off less and you're a little bit frugal, there's freedom in frugality. You don't have to sacrifice all the things you want from money to get money. Like, you can just take a deep breath and relax for a second and enjoy life. Like, it's so funny because the drivers of why the people who struggle, why they struggle, are just psychological things. Very often they're just chasing things they already have, or
Yeah.
just making silly mistakes, putting good money towards save a bad deal, things that people did in 2008.
Let's be honest. Some entrepreneurs are addicted to chaos.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Brother, they define their reality via anxiety. They purposely are
Yeah.
always in anxious and anxiety situations, and it has to do from they're insecure, some bad relationship with their dad, something happened, but and you really start to talk to them about why. I remember I had a client and I said, well, why? I said, why? What are you doing? Like, why? I said, then I said to him, I said, when you think about why you're doing what you're doing, he said to me, I'll never forget this. He said, Tom, what I want to do? I just want to drive through town in my pickup truck with my dad in my passenger side and just point out all these houses I own so he could be proud of me. And I'm like, brother, wait a second. Right? And it's like, and then from there, we were able to unwind the whole thing and just like put it back together. And, now he has this beautiful life. And I think that a lot of us are spending so much time chasing things we already have because of some silly, weird ego feeding, or people pleasing, which means that you're just lying all day. So you gotta really answer some of these core problems, because money is usually, once you hit a certain number of, and it's lower than most people think.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
That's
Tom, if
funny.
folks want to connect with you, they want to learn more, where can they go?
Tom Krol on Facebook, Krol, or coachinginc.com if you want to be a coach, which, by the way, I'll tell all your listeners, coaching real estate is way better than investing in real estate. 10,000 times better. It's more scalable. It's more sellable. So if you have learned how to do something with tax deeds, tax certificates, short sales, foreclosures, subject to wholesaling, landlording, Airbnb, land flipping, land development, commercial, retail, whatever, if you've learned how to do that and you've made your life better, you've made some money, head to coachinginc.com, fill out an application. We have beginner coaches, intermediate coaches, the biggest coaches in the whole world. Mike Hambright is in there. It's all the best coaches, all learning from each other, just in real estate. And coaching is so much better. Then you do coaching and you do more deals, but you do bigger deals, right? Students are bringing, it's beautiful. I love it.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me on the show today.
Brother, thank you for having me. I'm jumping on our support call now. Very exciting.
Yeah, guys, make sure you pay attention to the 9 rules of marketing. We share lots of great lessons there. A lot of times these best lessons they're very simple. And when you hear it, it's really, really obvious. Like it kind of hits home like, yeah, why did I complicate the hell out of this thing, right? So this is that season, and you should do it every year, quite frankly. Just kind of get back to basics. Just ask your question. If I was to get back to the basics, what do I need to do? Well, it's like you need to listen to this podcast and take a few notes. Reach out to our boy, Tom Krol. So appreciate you. Appreciate you guys for joining us today. Thanks so much, Tom. We'll see you guys on the next show. Thanks for joining us for today's show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing on your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. You can also check out the show's notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and even how to work with me directly one-on-one. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. See you on the next show.